right. So, Petrina, super lady.
Yes,
Well, this book review is hotting up like nobody's business.
it is.
Oh my gosh. I think we're going to have some really good weddings coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Some really
Yes.
good weddings, really good marriages coming up because the dating period, with these nuggets that we're getting and the value of this book that and everything that's been shared, is really setting a very good tone for people to start their relationship life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could just recap us briefly on what we touched on last week.
Okay, so last week we talked about how we need to value ourselves and the 5 steps of valuing ourselves, which is, first of all, you need to determine what your value is. Then you exercise the power to determine your value and know your worth. And while you're doing that, you contribute something positive to the people and the world around you so that these people appreciate and you receive positive feedback from them, and then your sense of self-worth is reinforced, and you are on the right path. So what it basically says is a lot of us, we tend to look at our self-value or self-worth from the outside in terms of maybe, buying material things, dressing up nicely, things like that. Whereas what is really important is really what's inside. How you feel inside of how valuable you are. And once you realize that, then you really know that your value is in who you are, not what you have or do.
Yeah, it takes a while for some individuals to kind of work that one out, isn't it?
Yes.
Because I think, what was it? I think it was yesterday on the program, we'll speak with Estella Versace, and from when we were children, we were given standards on what to do, how to be as a person.
Yes.
But then as soon as we become more mature and adult, then it's kind of left on the table, and we kind of automatically focus on the external that people see, our clothing line, our appearance, but we don't take care of who we don't continue to look after who we are and our principles and philosophies and etc. Yeah.
So the book really gives you an exercise, and I've done this before actually. It says, list at least 10 good qualities that you have. And if you find it a bit of a hurdle listing like 10 good qualities that you can think of, then the thing is, ask the people around you, ask the people who know you, your friends, your colleagues, your family. And I did this exercise before quite some time ago. I did. Not because I couldn't find 10 qualities, but I just wanted to do the test. And I actually asked some colleagues, some friends, some family. And, you'd just be amazed what they say about you.
It's true. That's true. And it's good to get that impartial advice, isn't it? Because you can get that advice of that person they're just waiting for an opportunity just to gun you down, right? With their words. Because of something that you did. And you got some people that will swing to the other side where it's just all about praise because they see you in a particular light. But if you can get that honest, impartial, people or individual, like I have a few people in my life that I know that I can ask about myself, and knowing about me and the ins and out, and I could be very transparent with them, will kind of tell me as it is for my good, and to have people like this around us is invaluable. We might not see the value in it because we don't like being hurt if it's not in our favor, but to grow, it's like what you're saying, it's important, especially in our love life.
Yes, of course, and if you're not sure how to ask, basically just say, I'm doing this exercise and I really value your opinion. Could you please share, some good qualities that you think about me?
Okay, that's true.
That's how you ask the person.
That's true. To keep it nice and serious, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then make sure you write it down, and then on the days, especially when you're feeling a bit down, just have that to hand, and you can read it. Say, well, on this date, so and so said this great thing about me, which I've totally forgotten, and now I feel great again because of that.
That's so true. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when supposedly if you're at work and you make a mistake at work, or something doesn't go according to plan and you fail or whatever, and you're like, your confidence isn't so great, you know, in those moments as and when they do occur in life. And just whip that out and be like, you know, oh yeah, no. Okay. It can help in the healing process. Right?
Yeah.
It can help in the healing process. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so that was last week. So today we're delving into an interesting chapter, which some people may say, you know, let me just skip this chapter because it's not for me. The chapter is on, the topic is dating after divorce, widowhood, or a long-term relationship.
Ooh,
now,
wow.
those who are single or haven't been divorced or, you know, widowed, they may think, oh, let me just skip this chapter because it's not for me. However, it is for you as well. Okay, because why it says is divorce doesn't just happen to people who are legally married. Breaking up, whether in dating or in a long-term relationship where you're practically living as husband and wife, can also have the same emotional effects as a divorce or widowhood.
Wow.
So this chapter is really for everyone.
All right, take us to the promised land.
Okay. So it says statistics show that people who get divorced and remarry make even more mistakes. So this applies to also people who have been like in a long-term relationship who separate.
And that's an interesting point, right? Because sometimes human beings want to take the easy way out. They see certain things that going on. They don't want to go through the hard process. There are situations where it's not safe or the situation is very toxic. And for the sake of your humanity as a human being, okay, you know, certain decisions need to be made. But there are some situations where the person wants to flee the situation because it's very uncomfortable and it's a lot of work. And they think, you know, if I flee, I will just find something new and it will start all over again because you're seeing all the good points of the advert. And, you know, in this other particular scenario or whatever. And they think it's easy. But what you're saying, statistics are that usually if a person rebounds, sometimes it can be even more challenging. Yes,
that's right. Yeah. So it talks about, you know, the areas that you need to consider before getting into the next relationship. These include the wounds and traumas from the previous relationships or marriages.
So these are areas to consider
before you get into a new relationship.
Before getting into a new relationship. This is a hot one, guys. You want to make sure you note this one down. Yep.
Yeah. So the first one is what were the wounds and traumas from the previous relationships that you can learn from?
Okay, so you have to have a moment to assess. Don't be like that. Oh, I hate myself. Oh, I hate myself. Oh, no. Oh. There's no oh. It's a thing of, all right, let me assess. I'm here. It's just me. Let me assess. Majuli says golden nuggets. Let me assess. Okay. Yeah. So assess.
And the next one is really quite common. It says fear of remarrying or failing, thinking that the problem is in marriage as an institution. You know how often we hear people say, "Oh, I tried this, I failed, so I'm not going to go there again."
Yes. It's interesting that people could say that. Yeah, marriage doesn't work. It's not that marriage doesn't work. It's people don't work.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? Everybody wants a business and work, but nobody wants a marriage and work. You know, a business and do whatever it takes, strategize, analyze, and apply, but they don't want to do that in marriage, and they say marriage doesn't work. So guess what? When you have a hard day at work, at your job doesn't work then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just go and live on the street, you know? But so what you're saying is some people blame the fear of remarrying and the institution of marriage. They kind of blame that.
Yes. Yeah. The third one is not yet understanding the real reasons why the divorce happened.
Okay. So these are things that we need to sit down and pay and assess, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next one is starting a relationship just to show their former partner that they are not alone. This is also very common. People get into a new relationship on the rebound.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But human beings, we're complicated creatures, and sometimes we can be very, very unhealthy in our thinking. You know, I'm literally, it's like, yeah, so it's you, you know, we're gonna start a relationship together. He's like, is Jeff watching? is Jeff? So Jeff, you see me now? Social media, you see me now? You see me now, Jeff? Jeff, you see me now? Jeff, look at me, social Instagram. Look, you see me now? Look, you've been replaced, Jeff. Jeff, you've been replaced. And like when Jeff moves on with his life, then you're left with that person, and that person's left with problems. You know what I mean? So that's a really interesting one to consider and think about. Yeah. And this affects. This affects those who, you know, even if it doesn't have, like you said, everybody who's has separated from a relationship need to consider these things. You know. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and going on that as well, you know, sometimes when we are put under pressure to get into a relationship by, you know, parents or, you know, anyone else, then maybe that could be the case as well. We're getting the one just to prove that, well, I've got someone. So you stop pressuring me into getting into a relationship because I found someone.
Yeah, that's not easy. You know, I have to give high props and respect to all those who say, you know what? No, I'm going to keep using my head and not my heart. You know, you know, because their reward's gonna come. Their reward's gonna come because I think, you know, we have, especially with the love talk and love therapy on Thursdays at 8:00 that we have. You know, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it just because of how you feel for a short period of time to tie your life to someone that can make the rest of your life miserable and unfulfilling and give you more work. You know what I mean? Where you would have just been happy and free with open options as a single person, you know? So, yeah, it's just not worth it. And just full props to those who are, you know, who are doing it the right way and waiting and being patient and keeping their head over their heart.
Yeah. So the fifth one is saying finding someone of the opposite characteristics of your ex-partner becomes so important that you become blind to other important factors in your new partner's character.
Wow, that is crazy. That is really, human beings were messed up. I'm sorry, man. It's like, okay, so this one was joke, so now I'm gonna go for someone who's more serious.
Yeah.
You're kind of putting relationship life into the individual into a box, right? In your head.
Yeah.
In your head. And no one can fulfill that criteria because human beings are so different. And you stop looking for what you really want, right?
Yeah.
Wow, this is crazy. That's, human beings are messed up. Sorry. I wasn't meant to say that out loud. I was going to say it in my head.
The next one talks about children from previous relationships. Now, this is a challenging one because these children, depending on how old they are, they may reject the idea of having a step-parent.
Yeah, that's something to consider.
Yeah.
It's true. And yeah, and you know, because I was watching a program, a men's program, and sometimes it's like to find someone that will accept you, and if you have children, because the children normally stay with the mother, you know, it's a blessing, you know, and sometimes because of the needs of the person, they don't even think about what the children want, or sometimes they can overthink what the children want and don't have a balanced middle ground. So I get what you mean. So it's one thing a man choosing a woman, and it's another thing a woman choosing a man who might have children. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah,
it's a lot to think about. Yeah.
And the next one is you may be disqualifying yourself because you already have children and feel that you won't be accepted by a new partner because of that.
Yeah. Okay.
And following on from that, an exaggerated perception of their ex-partner's mistakes without acknowledging their own mistakes that contributed to the breakup. This may prevent them from changing harmful behaviors that could be repeated in a new relationship.
Oh my days. Yeah, what do you have to... Come on, you must add something to that, Ronald. Come on, drop it like it's hot.
Yes.
I was watching a very interesting program last night, which was amazing, and it was about dating online, right? And this woman was an ex-police woman in the 60s, 70s. She'd been married very happily with a husband for a long time, and then at Christmas time she started to feel lonely, so she got on the dating app, and anyway, this guy popped up out of nowhere. He was supposed to be an engineer from the Middle East and all that, and anyway, and he started giving her a lot of, yes, I need some money for this, I need some money for that. She was forking out. She forked out £120,000, right?
What?
120 to give to him, and she never ever worked out he was a scammer.
Wow.
Right? And he just kept asking for it, and she kept giving 1,200, 2,000, 5,000, and then the two people doing the investigation made a startling comment. They said the people that get caught more on scams of dating are between 16 and 25 years old.
16 and 25.
16 and 25.
I mean, the age where you got options and you're coming to the peak of yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. I mean, you can meet people, in restaurants and bars, hotels, whatever, and whereas the older people are like past 70, they're past that.
Yeah.
Right? So they go for the dating online, but some of them are a bit more savvy. So they're careful, right? so what? And this is a sign of human nature being, lonely at the certain times of the year, like Easter time, and no one's around. Christmas time, no one's around, right? So, but you learn. At one stage of my life, I was on my own for 8 years.
Yeah.
Right? And Petrina calls that you're happy in your own skin.
Yeah.
So what happens is you've got to have your own internal interests about whether it's books you read or books you write or gardening, but you can have a quite a good life for a long time on your own, as long as you understand what you're about. See?
Yeah.
But I was staggered to find that it was a 16 to 25 years old that got caught the most in dating. They're the wrong person. And because I suppose they use the internet, and there's so many scammers on the internet, it's like incredible.
Wow.
And even ex-police women, would you think would be smarter, were getting caught. See?
Wow.
So I think it's very important that when you meet someone, that they might come across as terrific, like when you've been drinking a few beers or whatever, but always pull back and start watching.
Yeah.
Watching the comments, watch their reaction to other people. That's how you find out what they're about.
That's true.
And over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to find out quite a lot about that person.
It's true. I remember Bishop Macedo. He shared his testimony before he met Miss Esther. He was dating someone that he was totally crazy over. The lady was a bit older than him, and he was like, "Yes, this is the one." And he sat down at a dinner table with her, and they were talking, and something happened, and the way she reacted to that situation and the words that she said, not necessarily bad words, but he kind of perceived the intention behind it, and he understood, and he had what he called the holy doubt. And he called it the holy doubt, and then after he was like, "No, you know what? Now if he would stop there, you know what I mean?" He had to call it off. And later on, you as time passed, in another relationship they were in, I believe, you could see that, because it was something that she said. It's like, if she's like this about this situation now that she doesn't have me, imagine how she'll be when she has me. So that whole thing, sometimes our feelings and need can make us overlook our understanding and our discernment. And
very much so.
And also going back to not acknowledging your own mistakes. If you had a breakup, sometimes some people can be so much on their pedestal and their own self-righteousness that they don't assess themselves. They're just always looking out there when they could be the problem, and it could be subtle things that could put the opposite sex off. Someone that you could have had a really quality relationship with and build with and work with, but you miss it because you're not open to assess yourself and assess your feelings and your thoughts and your behaviors.
The other thing that's very, these days, especially, there's such a high rate of divorce, huge rate of divorce these days. And one of the less known problems is that often with divorce, when you remarry someone else with kids, they've already got their kids, right? The kids' ages can play a huge part in whether the marriage will work, the new marriage will work.
Yeah.
And often when the kids are about like 15 or 16 or above, they will never ever trust a new partner.
Yeah.
So there will always be some undercurrent. Well, you're not my dad. You're not my mom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to you. So they will always put a sharp edge into the new marriage.
Absolutely.
Right? And I've seen it happen firsthand. And they'll come to you for the money, right? But they'll never come to you for friendship or like being a new dad or anything like that. Right?
Sorry to cut you. I was one of those children actually. My mom tried to move on. My mom tried to move on, and me and my brothers, we would mock the guy in secret. But those are the days where they would try to, and they would want to punish you, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. Are you trying to punish me like you're my dad? This doesn't compute. But obviously the guy had his own issues going on, if you know what I mean. But it's something that we have to consider. We've got a Breakfast Show talker here, Shirley, saying remarrying without having changed as an individual contributes to a second breakup. Different actions and different attitudes will give different results.
Definitely.
Drop it in.
I would say my after seeing that show last night, I'd say my warning for the rest of the years, if you're going to go chasing some other partner, look up on the internet, look up dating scams.
Okay.
Right? And look up dating scams in Russia, in China, in Europe, and you're going to be shocked at how much of it is occurring.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most of it, of those dating scams, it's all about the money. Right? It's all about the money. And they target women who are, say, 60, 70, who have got a little house, cash in the bank, bit of superannuation, whatever, and they start giving the problem, look, I need $1,200 to bring a shipment. It's going to make me big money, and I'll pay you back. And then as soon as you start paying, it's like, I need $2,000, I need $5,000, I need $8,000. And once you engage, but I love you, I really love you.
Yeah, guys, look out for that. The heart is deceitful above all things, and there are people that know it. So be careful, watch out. So thank you very much for that, Ronald. And Petrina, Michael's the time goes so quickly. What on earth is happening here? Oh my days. So you touched on not acknowledging your own mistakes, yeah? What else?
I'll give if I can just I've got just have a thought about it. Your brain plays a huge part in how you attract other people, right? And what I discovered when you're on your own, one of the most important things you can do is to eat foods that are rich in magnesium.
Okay.
So when you eat food that are rich in magnesium, it makes your brain a lot more alert to what other people are doing and saying, much more alert. So your brain's actually more cognitive of signs that sometimes unspoken signs that you can't see, but you can feel it because your brain's vibrating at the right level.
That's true.
The magnesium is one. And one of the richest sources of magnesium is almonds.
Okay.
It's almonds.
Let's get some almonds in our diet, guys, and I'm sure that will benefit not just in love life, but in other areas as well.
Exactly.
Petrina, are we at a place where we could summarize, or do we have a few more of these points?
We could summarize that. That's fine.
Yep. So go for
it. It's talking about projecting the previous relationship problems onto the new partner every time they do something that reminds them of their ex. This is something that you need to be aware of as well.
Yeah. Oof.
So basically, to summarize, is that before you get into a new relationship, look at all these potential problem areas that may affect the new relationship.
Yeah.
Such as review what went wrong in the past, and obviously how you're actually feeling as well as to why the relationship went wrong.
Yeah.
And obviously never compare the new partner to the old partner as well.
Yeah, huge. You know, some partners are suffering. There are some partners they in a new, but they're suffering because someone hasn't gotten over their old relationship, and they're being judgmental. They're seeing the new partner with bad eyes. The new partner just sneezes. Achoo! Why did you want to make sure you put a hole in the roof? I've never put a hole. You put a hole in the roof. I haven't even been up in the roof. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm figuratively speaking, but it's just about projecting the old stuff into something new. Yeah, so we have to look out for that. Everybody.
So it goes likewise. If you're the new partner, then if you see these signs, then maybe it's a time to also step back and say, well, it's not the time to actually get into that relationship as well.
Wow, that takes courage. Because sometimes the feelings are, I want what I want. I want what I see, I want what I desire, and the thinking just goes out the window, and so many people can end up suffering. They're jumping into a 6-foot hole, right? And the dirt's falling in, and they do it knowingly. Then when they're there, they're trying to claw their way out to try and fix the problem afterwards. So that's a very good point, Petrina.
Yeah, so as I said, if you have got children, then also bear in mind the financial commitments to the children, and having to also maybe combine your incomes in a new marriage as well. When each partner has their individual financial commitments as well to the previous relationships. Yeah,
that's very important. That's the ones I learned very early. And because if you're having relationships, not if you're dating, but if you've got a covenant together, you're building a life together, then no secrets, transparency, and there's strength in the finances being in one place, when control, so there's no wastage, and that's the thought life. When two people come together, it's to build together, isn't it? And that goes with everything.
Yeah. So this sentence actually really summarizes what we're talking about. It says, thinking that your next marriage or relationship will work without understanding what went wrong in the previous one and fixing it is like watching your team lose a game and believe that they will win the next one just because you think so.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yes.
All right. So, guys, I think that's it for today.
Yes, that's it.
So that's it, guys. So look, we're gonna have these tips. There's quite a few of them, but maybe you're someone that you've been very cautious concerning your love life, or you're getting into dating, or maybe you've had different relationships, and a lot of these will apply to you. Or maybe you're looking for the future, because if you're someone that is using your head over heart when it comes to your dating, you are not going to engage in every person who pays an interest to you. You're going to date to assess and understand the individual, because your love life, after your spiritual life, is the most important thing you have in your life. This will make you and break you. I've heard like a pastor said, and he was hardcore. He's one of those ones that that you believe when you see them, they can never fall. And he said like this: look, if I married wrong, my ministry would be destroyed. If she was not on my side, if she was not for me, if she was not, do you know what I mean? You see me here working, we're doing all this great work, it wouldn't happen. He could see it, he could perceive it. So let's be very careful concerning our love life. And those of you who are listening now and you want to revisit this as well, it's going to be on our YouTube channel. Just search youtube.com/robustlife TV. Okay, and you'll be able to get this and also get the book, Bulletproof Dating. And you could help center bookshops or online on the bookshop as well. Bulletproof Dating, invaluable stuff, and also you can revisit this discussion. All right, look, guys, thank you so much for that, Petrina. That was hot stuff.
You're welcome.
This is hot. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk. That's right, The Breakfast Show is back. libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m.